Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you another StarCraft commentary, and it's been a couple weeks since I've actually done any commentating, so I do apologize about that. There's going to be a week where I think I'm not going to have any series casted, so instead of going back a couple weeks to games that you may have already known what happened, I'm going to come back and at least do one game from that week, Stats versus Turn, which is supposed to be a phenomenal game. I saw it on Team Liquid does these like weekly things, and this was supposed to be the best game of the week. Didn't actually see who win, didn't read the article, just saw that it was the best game of the week, so I thought, hey, I'll go back and at least cast this one game from that week before we move on to another series. I'm going to cast this game. It is Samson Khan versus KTs. It's going to be Turn here in the top left and purple versus Stats in the bottom left, so two very, very good players. And then after this, I'm going to go cast Samson Khan versus STX Seoul, my two favorite teams duking it out. So that's going to be the plan here today, and I'm really excited for this game. I mean, Stats and Turn have both been playing phenomenally this year. It's actually quite impressive. Stats is winning something like 60% of his games or 65% of his games right now in Proleague, and he plays basically every single series. And looking at it right now, it looks like he was 9-3 coming into this game. Yeah, he's 9-3 coming into this game in Proleague, which is phenomenal. So he's playing really, really well. And on the other hand, Turn has not lost yet in Proleague. He is 4-0, and he's beaten some really top-notch players. He has taken down Bogus, Best, Hydra, and Sun. So there's no cheap wins there. The worst player on that list is Sun. So you know he's doing some pretty good work over there. Taking down two Terran players, especially, or two Protosses in Best and Sun. Best particularly known as a great versus Terran player. So taking him down, looking really, really good. I think I actually saw that game. I think I actually saw Turn. Yeah, I saw Turn versus Best. That was a good game. I remember that game. Casted that even. So we definitely all saw that in there. And so here we go. This should be quite exciting. Two players that are basically on fire. And it looks like Stats is actually going to get the very, very early scout in here, is going to pick the correct direction. And on the other hand, Turn doesn't look to be sending out any sort of early scout or anything. He's not worried about any sort of proxies on this. This is going to be on Sniper Ridge, which is the map with the kind of reverse-looking swastika ridges in the middle of the map. That really lets you, as you start moving out to different ridges, you do start narrowing out the map and separating it into little corners. So they do have a lot of significance in your tactics that go on in this game. And Turn with a kind of, I mean, he's not walling in. It just looks really weird. His building placement is really weird. He just has a random supply depot next to I think he has a random supply depot going by barracks for some reason, but it doesn't matter. Usually does not, that sort of thing does not come into play at all unless you're walling in. Your base placement is pretty standard stuff. Factory is coming up, and looks like nothing sneaky coming in from Turn either. No 12 necks, no proxies, no nothing so far. Just very standard things coming in this, but we do have a nice little manor pylon by Stats, and he's actually going to let that warp in. Yeah, he's actually going to let that warp in. It looks like, oh no, never mind, he did cancel it. For a second I thought he was gonna let that warp in, which you don't normally see, but it did look like he caught a couple of SCVs, so that was definitely ruining some of Turn's mining. So that was very nice. You don't actually see a whole lot of manor pylons anymore in professional StarCraft. Players are really good at stopping it, and they know every single place where a manor pylon can go down, and they're just so adept at making sure that there's always an SCV or always a probe in that spot. So that's just not a concern usually, but Stats able to get one off here in this game. Not likely to be too significant, but certainly a little bit of harassment, a little bit of an annoyance that is going down, and looks like Turn's actually throwing down a bunker as well. So he is going to be producing a vulture, throwing down a bunker at its natural expansion. So he's going to try and expand off of this one fact and just get out some vultures to maybe put on a little bit of pressure here to start, which is kind of an interesting start here to Turn's build. There is the vulture, and we do see the Nexus has gone down for Stats as well. So both players looking for more of an economic build in this game, going to take it into macro style, at least onto two bases. This game will not be ending early, that's for sure. Yeah, don't have enough gateways or anything out in order to end it early. And there's still operating off the one gateway, still operating off the one factory, so very standard stuff. And there is a probe on the ridge, and that is going to stop that vulture from getting up and getting a scout on that entire base. So really nice play there actually by putting that probe on. I think that was brilliant. And another probe by Stats, actually hiding behind the middle lines at the natural expansion of Turn, is going to sneak into the base and is going to get a scout on. So some really nice probe work here from Stats. And another manor pylon. So that's pretty cool. It looks like he caught like 4 SCVs in there too. 3 or 4 SCVs. That's really nice by Chinless Toss. Stats, that is really, really nice. I really like that play. Here come a couple Dragoons with range, and they are going to start peppering that bunker, actually forced to stop producing that command center so that way he can start repairing this bunker. So things going a little bit Stats' way here in this game right now. He is getting the shots off on that bunker. He is delaying that command center a little bit by that methodology, and he is also getting a very good scout on. That Manor Pylon did warp in and did manage to trap a few SCVs there for a while. So some good work going on here from Stats. On the other 4 stats as well, we do have the observatory almost finished, as well as a second gateway warping in as well. And Turn just feeling comfortable macroing up here, hanging tight, and there is a tank, so Stats kind of needs to pull back here, but he's taking a lot of tank shots, so he actually takes some damage on one of those Dragoons, a little bit sloppy on his part, and 2 more racks is coming down here, so here comes Turn. He's going to go 3 racks with the factory as well, so it's going to be tanks and Marines. This could be very, very interesting if that observer is going to be out pretty soon, though, so this should be... I actually think that Stats with the observer timing, this is going to be close. I think Stats can actually get an observer over there in time, that he may be able to prepare himself for this, for the Marines that are going to be coming his way. I think if he can put down a support bay, possibly get a Reaver out pretty quickly, I think he'll actually be able to stop this if he's able to get that observer over there ASAP. Another barracks going down, so this is going to be 4 racks and just the 1 factory right now. Gateway coming up at the front, so he's going up to 4 gateways. Doesn't look like he's even looking at any more tech. No Citadel of a Dune, no Stargate, no nothing. Just the observatory is the nearest thing to tech that we have going on here. The observer is floating straight to Turn's base, and he is going to know within the next 30 seconds or so, he is going to know that there is all of these racks is being put down, and I think this is actually early enough. I think Stats definitely has a chance here to see this early enough. No Marines have been quite even finished out of any of these barracks, so he's going to have an opportunity here to prepare. He does see it all right now. You do see that observer moving, so you know that he knows, and a little bit, his eyes widen a little bit. There are 5th barracks! Are you kidding me, Turn? What are you doing? Oh my god, more barracks coming up here for Turn, and January laughing, she's like, alright, I told him to go racks and Marine tank. I didn't think he was going to put down this many barracks. That's pretty funny. I think January just like, okay, Turn, way to take what I told you and take it to the next level. Turn doesn't do anything like half-assed. He's all in. Like, if you remember his very first game ever against Bisu, he goes 2-fact, he almost kills Bisu, and then how does he transition out of it? Just keeps putting on more pressure. And then when that gets pushed back, what he does, he just keeps pushing. Turn just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. He is such like an all-in, like, I don't want to call him an all-in guy. That's like, it has a wrong connotation in StarCraft, but he's like, when he goes with the strategy, he goes for it. He doesn't, like, half-ass anything. I love it. It's so cool. And here comes Turn. He's actually going to attack Upper Ridge. There are some tanks here, so he is going to be able to siege up here. And he is going to take this ridge. He lost several Marines in the process, but he's going to take the ridge, and is going to be shooting down at the Dragoons. A couple more Dragoons do go down. So Turn is forcing Stats back right now, and Stats is just trying to buy time for his Reaver. He needs his Reaver, just trying to buy time for his Reaver and hoping that he can get it out in time. There it is. There's the Reaver. There's the shuttle. Now all he needs is maybe another Zealot or 2 in order to get some Zealot bombs going, or just to keep his Reavers alive from some shots, and he'll be good to go to maybe try and defend this. Stats has been forced to retreat all the way back into his natural expansion, and right now Turn is peppering at his wall, blowing up a pylon. He's going to take down that gateway as well as others. And it looks like Stats, is he going to get aggressive with that shuttle, or is he just floating it out there? We got to watch where this shuttle is going right now. Okay, he is going to bring it back here for the defense. I was getting really worried there. And a nice Reaver shot taking out almost all of the Marines. Just a couple of Marines left, but there are still tanks going here. And here comes the Reaver right into the tank line, and he's going to try and use this Reaver as well as he can to try and take out... No! The Reaver does go down! Stats, sloppy Stats, and he is going to lose that Reaver, and that may actually be game here. What else does Stats have going for him here? Will he have anything else in order to try and defend? Turn just keeping on the pressure. More Marines come in here, stemmed and charging up this ramp, taking down gateways. Tanks are sieged up. Not enough tanks went down to that Reaver. Here comes another Reaver with the shuttle, and the shuttle almost goes down, barely survives. There is the Reaver going to try and kill off some more Marines, picks off 3 more Marines, and he is trying so bad to save that Reaver, and he needs to keep that shuttle alive as well. DTs are out for Stats. A scan comes off, and he's going to try and take down all these DTs. One of the DTs does go down. Second DT does go down. 1 DT left. Are there any more scans for Turn? The natural expansion allowed to live. A natural expansion still alive. Stats does not... Turn did not finish up, but the Reaver does go down. Then the shuttle goes down. Still a Dark Templar. It goes down as well. Stats is just about out of units. Nothing left. Nexus at like 4 health. And Probes coming off the line now, trying to trap this tank, and it looks like they may actually be able to trap the tank. Tank almost going down to Probes. The tank does go down, but here comes some more Marines, and all that's left right now is Marines versus Probes. But here come a couple Dragoons, and will the Marines be enough? Will the Dragoons be able to save Stats here? The Marines still flowing, still coming in, and the Marines all go down. So Stats does have his ramp once more, can defend. His natural expansion still alive. Stats has snuck a base in the bottom right. The natural expansion does go down, but he has snuck a base in the bottom right, and that may be able to keep him in the game. If he's able to maintain his ramp, he may be able to stay in this game. Going for that siege tank, taking it down to half health, still barely surviving, but coming up the ramp as are these Dragoons, and going to try and hold his ramp. He's going to try to hold his ramp, get that bottom right hand base going, and see if he can just out macro Turn. See if he can get back in, or I should say get back into the macro against Turn is what I should be saying. And that tank almost going down, but the tank doesn't go down. 2 Dragoons fall, and Turn keeping up the pressure here. Probes coming in here for a probe drill, going to be very, very effective, taking down a couple of the Marines. Just a few Marines left. The Dragoons didn't manage to take down the tank. Just the Marines, and the Marines are picking off probes left and right. Very few probes left, so it looks like even if Stats does fend this off, I don't believe he has enough probes left to even survive a pure Vulture rush at this point. The Vulture and Marine that's left, and that is going to be game. GG from Stats. That was a very entertaining game. That was awesome. That was so much fun. I'm really glad I got to watch it. That was really fun. Turn playing very well, very sneakily, and the Observer got there in time. I think that the Observer did get there in time. I mean, you know, you'd like it 5 or 10 seconds earlier, but still got there in time. In January, I don't know. I think January is like the best coach ever. She I think she genuinely likes all of her players, and all of the players genuinely like her. So it's kind of cool. It's like she always has a smile on her face when she sees them. She seems very loyal. Then again, I'm kind of a Samson Khan fan, so of course, I think she and Samson Khan is awesome. But that's going to be it for that series. I'm going to go on and do an actual series. It's going to be Samson Khan versus STX Seoul, and so I will see you guys all in that series that is going to come next.